Xcode playgrounds are a great way to quickly prototype using Swift. In this demo, I'll show you how to visualize UI elements using the live preview feature. In a playground, we can code almost like in a real iOS or Mac OS project. We can instantiate any UIKit component. Let's start with the UI view. Now, if we run our code, nothing happens. We can inspect our view instance using the Quick Look feature or by displaying the results using the sidebar icons. However, we can't visualize dynamic behavior like animations this way. I'm going to create a simple animation which fades out our view. I use uiview's animate type method. The animation will run for half a second. Although our code runs without issues, we can see the fade out effect. Luckily, Xcode playgrounds have a nice built-in feature called Live Preview. To use it, we'll need some additional setup. First, we have to import the playground support framework. Then, we'll need a container view which will act as a canvas for all our UI stuff. I set the container view dimensions to 512 by 512 pixels. And I set its background color to white. Finally, I assign it to the current playground page's active live view property. Now we have a canvas to draw on. All we have to do is to add our view as a subview to this container view. There is an additional step. We have to open the preview panel by pressing the Option Command Enter keys. Alternatively, you can go to the View menu, select Assistant Editor and choose Show Assistant Editor. Now, if we run the demo, we'll see the fade out effect. I'm going to slow down the animation by increasing the duration to say 3 seconds. Alright, the fade out works as expected. We can further experiment with the animations. Let's combine the fade out with the fade in effect. I'm going to increase the alpha value back to 1 in the completion block of the fade out animation. This way, the view becomes gradually transparent, then it turns totally opaque again. I can even add this animation to a uiview extension. By doing so, our animation will be available to all uiview subclasses like for example uiMageView, uiButton and so on. I have to refactor the animation a bit so that we can set the duration. I set a default duration value so colors don't necessarily have to set it. Notice that there is no need to pass a view to this method. The animation will execute on the view itself, so we can simply refer to it as self. Alright, now comes the best part. If I create a UI label, it will automatically receive the new functionality. I set the label's background color to blue and the text color to white so that it stands out. The text should be centered. And finally, let's assign it a text. How about this? Playgrounds are cool. How true, isn't it? Playgrounds are a great way to learn, prototype and do proof of concept work in Swift. As we've just seen, we can even visualize UI components. But actually, it is way more powerful than that. We can assign not only views, but also view controllers and 3D synced scenes to the live view property of the XC playground page. We also get support for gesture recognizers, so we can interact with our UI elements as usual. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. And please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching.